I thought I'd make a video on fragrance. Beard Brand just made one. I watched half of it and I thought I could say something about it. One thing about fragrance, back in high school, I feel like the way you smelled mattered more in high school. You were just around a lot of people. You were really into how you looked, all the areas that kind of go around looks. Smell could be one of those things. You might have gym class, you might smell. Not everybody showered. On the Beard Brand though, they were talking about smelling, like smelling bad. I almost feel like rarely do you smell somebody in public that smells bad, and I don't know how it could possibly go that awry. I feel like body odor would be a lack of showering for a numerous amount of days, and I'm one of those guys that don't sweat. I could see if you sweated heavily, it might be hard to even get through a full day. I don't know if you knew this, but when you sweat, your sweat actually has no smell. It's the bacteria that feeds on the sweat that create the smell. So that's kind of interesting. So it's okay to sweat. You just gotta get rid of the sweat before the feeding starts. As far as smell goes, back in high school, everybody would get these bottles of cologne. Same prices pretty much that they were then. I think they know people will spend like $50 to $70 on cologne, and then not much has changed. Same size bottles, same prices, almost the same colognes, pretty much. Some of the really old famous colognes are still here, and I'll talk about that in a second. But somewhere in the second half of high school, and it's been a while since I've been to high school, somewhere in the second half, I remember hearing somebody be like, "Who smells?" And that was definitely something you wouldn't want to hear. So it's like you wanted to smell good, but you don't want anyone to notice you smell. Kind of like, what are you covering up? Why are you putting on so much cologne? What gives? Maybe it gives you a headache. I've heard people actually get headaches from cologne. So here's what I do. I don't know if I showed this once before, but I got this one from Whole Foods. I believe the brand is like Olivia, something like that. It's in the men's section. They don't have very much for men. The thing I like about this, it's about the size of, this is about the size of cologne I'd want. Nothing bigger than this, nothing smaller than this. I think I've had this for about 2 years now, and I've used maybe less than half. All I do is put about a spray on my chest, like boom. And then that's before I put a shirt on. I feel like putting it on your skin is a little bit better of a trick. As your skin goes throughout the day, the warmth of your skin, how it just mixes with your own body chemistry, I think it gives off a better, how does it portray you? One thing I liked doing back in the day and still like doing, some of these bottles, these $70 bottles, I'm not really into buying anymore. So when I go to Macy's, instead of just spraying it on a stick and like you gotta wave it through the air and smell it, I know they're all gonna smell good. So I just like, if I'm wearing a coat in the wintertime, hit up the inside of my coat and get like 50 cents worth of free smell. But yeah, I like this one. It's about a third of the price. It has a cedar smell to it. That's the stronger smell, but plus a couple other smells. So it just has like you've been in the wood shop. I usually hit one on the chest. If I want to go the extra mile, I throw it right on my wrist. From what I've heard on your wrist, this is it warms up. So as you get warm, maybe if you're a young guy and you're on a date, when you meet your lady later in the day, that's when these points heat up. Plus, when you're coming out, you don't have to smell, but as you're extending your arm to people, that's when they can get a little bit of a sense of smell. I like smelling people. Rarely do I pick up on a scent. But if there's a rich old lady that walks by, not super old, but a rich lady that walks by and you pick up a scent, it's fun smelling people. What do they smell like? I showed this on a previous video. This is the vetiver beard oil. I feel as a guy, just putting on cologne on your shirt, from what I've heard, here's the move. Back in the day, people would literally spray it. Some people would use these expensive colognes. This one's not expensive, but as like a room spray, like spraying the room, that's a waste. But as far as if you put in a scented oil on your beard, you've got a, that's like one smell. Spraying cologne on your body, that's a second smell. I've got an aftershave. It is a Burt's Bees. I don't have it on me right now. That's a great smell. They've almost phased it out. I had a Burt's Bees cologne. I loved it. I got it in like a travel kit, so it came with a few other things. You got to like sample things without having to pay the full price. Loved it. And then by the time I wanted more, it was gone. It was discontinued. So I actually found it in their aftershave. That's about the only thing left that they have. And it just smells great, like just these perfect spices. It's a very manly scent. So you hit your, of course I've got a beard, hit the the skin portion of my body. I do shave my neck. As my beard was shorter, I shaved more, and then I shave a little less each time. That's another smell. That's a great smell. Back in the day, the colognes I used to buy. This is crazy. This is a Chanel brand. I actually got these two off my aunt. Her father didn't want them anymore. Eternity and Allure. They have like, this Allure has gone through like sports brands and all these Allure Red, I don't know, chrome bottle. These have been around for, I've actually owned these two bottles I think for 20 years. I was in a Sephora checking out fragrances for my wife, and I asked the lady, how long do you think these last, like in the bottle? And she's like, I don't know, a couple years. I'm like, here's the thing, I've had some for 20 years. I have some for 30 years. I have like the original green polo from 30 years ago. If you look in the bottle, I just show you, there's little bubbles. There's nothing in there, like no weird, like growth inside these things. They're sealed off. It's like a one-way spray, like something can come out but nothing's going in. Although my wife has had some brands, like she had a Britney Spears bottle that she didn't even make it very far through, and it was like starting to like grow something inside, and then just like spread. I got this when I was 19. I'm almost 40 now. I don't know if you can tell. This one's called The Good Life. It came in a 2-bottle set. You do a little bit better when you buy these sets, especially around Christmas time. They'll literally be like, hey, you can buy this bottle for $70. They're never going to go cheaper, and we'll throw in a free duffel bag. A free basketball. I don't know. They have a splash kind, like an aftershave, and then they had a spray kind. They're both still very full. The bottles are, just great to look at. Very awesome how it looks in there. It looks like 5 tubes all stuck together. Yeah, so if you can tell, I got this bottle used 20 years ago, and it's still 60% left in the bottle. Don't use it very often. These things I collect, they don't go anywhere. I thought this was pretty cool. This Jupiter Ridge on Instagram, they have a cool story. This one's called the Backpacker Cologne Sample Kit. So what they do is they go into, I believe they're California based, they go into the mountains, they'll pull out whatever kind of plants, they put them in a steam pot, and they distill them, and you pretty much get like just pure scent with nothing else. Very natural. So they'd have bottles that are like $60 a piece plus shipping. You see this stuff on Instagram, you're like, what does that smell like? And that's like what gets me to buy. Actually, I bought these and they were horrible. I remember just thinking like, gross. Fun though, it comes in this like, it looks like it came from outside. These were like their big scents. One smells like orange peels, like you like open up an orange and like stick your face in an orange. Another one smells like a pine tree, like you're smashing up those juniper berries and just smelling your fingers. Very strong. And then this one I actually like. It's got a little reducer on the top. So you just put a little dab. This one's not bad. But what a good deal. Instead of spending $60 on a big bottle that could last me for the rest of my life, I got 3 smells and the whole thing was like $20. And they're like sample kit. This is not a sample for me. This is like 4 years of smell. It's not like I'm gonna put something on every day, and I'm only gonna put a little bit on. Nice, another thing. Ooh. Another thing about putting it on your wrist, if you want to smell it, you know, you can just kind of smell it throughout. You're in the car and you're like, what was that smell again? You know, just take a little smell. I said this was really strong on my beard. Today I felt like I wanted it. And I haven't been putting it on my mustache. Today I wanted to smell it. And you know what? I didn't quite smell it as much as I did the first day. I don't know if I'm getting used to it. Check out my beard process, by the way. I've been really embracing the mustache, and looking online, my mustache is comparable to the guys that have been in the mustache game for a while. So yeah, I feel like I've got achieved mustache greatness. But I'm just getting started, so check back. Hey, another quick thing. I don't know, some of my videos, they're over 3 years old, are when I posted last, and I'm down 20 pounds from those videos, and I was actually down another 20 pounds from where I am now. I lost a total of 90 pounds. I could make a video on that. I don't know, I feel like put my hand there, and then just good without the hand. Feel like that's the fountain of youth right there, exercise. So you can't get a new face, but if you wanted a totally new body, you can get that in the gym. So take care, see you later. Comment on my video.